Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse. And today we're here at my work table because I found out that I could do some shameless self-promotion for my little shop and maybe also promote bargain hardware over here. So yeah, I could have that running in the background shamefully, and I will probably just shortly get back to that. But I am running out of space on my NAS, and for that I have purchased another hard drive almost a year ago. This NAS company, which is not gonna be named because I'm still pissed at them for striking my channel, even though I've been promoting them heavily throughout the years. Yeah, this NAS is running out of space because I produce all these videos for you, and they kind of take up a bit of space. I think every month is about 200 gigabytes of video footage that I produce. All the raw materials and the completed videos and the graphics and stuff goes onto this NAS where it's stored, and that creeps up on you. I have 4 hard drives in there, and each of them are 10 terabytes. And that's they are in a RAID 5, and that comes out to about 30 terabytes of data that I have. I'm not using all of that for my videos. I do also have other things on there, like camera surveillance of the house, and I do also have a tiny bit of entertainment on there, which I actually don't use a lot. I mostly watch streaming TV, and I don't watch that much. But I'm gonna be upgrading it. And as it has been a few years since I put those 10 terabytes in there, the prices of hard drives has come down ever so slightly. I must admit, it's not a lot. All this chia mining has kind of kept the price at a level. I think it might have dropped a little bit more if that hadn't come up, but I was looking at hard drives, and it seems like the sweet spot for where you get the most for your money was about 14 terabytes. You might be able to get the price for 1 terabyte cheaper at another level, but I was looking at drives over 10 terabytes, so that it would be an improvement. And continuing with 10 terabyte hard drives could be a natural thing, but I thought that it would be more interesting to give it a notch up. That way I'll be upgrading my NAS. I'll get more storage, maybe not right away, but I will eventually get more storage out of the NAS and have the same amount of drives. If I put in a 10 terabytes, there is more or less no difference in power usage. If I put in a 10 terabytes or a 14 terabytes, they use about the same amount of power. But here I get 4 terabytes of storage for no extra power bill. Of course, this hard drive is more expensive in purchasing, and you might be able to see that this is an external drive. That's because we're going to be taking it out of the external box. And that's also why we're at the computer here, because I really want to test this drive before I take it out of the box. Because if this is faulty from the factory, it's so much easier to replace it while it's in the box and without scratches and stuff. So let's get on with that. But I did set this up to make some shameless self-promotion of my little shop. Links are in the description. So if you're in need of a radiator thermostat, I have one of those. I have some hard drives, 2.5 inch spinning disks this is for a Lenovo server or an IBM server. Heatsink for an X3650 M1 is there. There's another 2.5 inch hard drive. There's a blade server and dual AMD server for an IBM Datacenter. There's a heatsink for an Generation 9 Hewlett-Packard server, DL380, 1 terabyte. Yeah, there's a lot. This is just random stuff that's on the main page. I have some DVD writers here, very cheap. External things, you just connect it to your server or your computer with one cable. It will get power and signal from that, and you can write your DVDs and lots of stuff. Yeah, please go check it out. So if you don't know, it's cheaper to get your hard drives in these boxes. That's because they well, actually they give you 2 years of warranty on this one, but normally if you get a freestanding hard drive, an internal hard drive just loosely. They will give you both 3 and 5 years of warranty on those. And these, well, they give you less warranty. Let's open the box. I have a screwdriver here that will help me with the tape. I have done this before in multiple videos, so there's no real magic here. So here is the hard drive. Here are the plastic things. There will be a cable and a power supply as well in the box. There's some paperwork here. We are gonna be breaking the warranty in just a second or two, so we're not gonna worry about that. You can take these apart very carefully and hope that you could return it if the drive fails, but yeah, I am kind of, when I've done this, I'll be my own warranty. But yeah, so we have the box, and then we can see this has been prepared for the British market because it has a British plug on there, so we need to unplug the British. Well, they kind of did that themselves, didn't they? So I did purchase this locally, so I don't know why it has a British plug on there. It was actually a bit weird. So, but it comes with a European plug as well. So happy. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna connect it to my tiny PC over here, and make sure that this spins up and I can see it. And then when that is up and running, and I'm happy about that, we will break it free out of the box. The back of this, it has a USB 3 connector. I don't really know what they call this one. It's a weirdy, but we plug that in. And I have connected the adapter, so we can plug that in as well. There's an on-off button there, so right now it's not on. But we're gonna take our USB 3 connection and we're gonna put that over here. There. Oh, it is on. Oh, bastards. It says sounds. Okay, I have Disk Manager open here and it pops up. We can see that we have our disk here. It says that we have 13 terabytes. That, yeah, you lose some, you know how that works. But that seems good to go. And it did also open this window over here. And I see that we have some digital, Western digital software in there, which we are not gonna be using for anything. Yeah, did I mention bargain hardware over here? If you use the coupon code MyPlayHouse, you get 5% off of your purchase. And they do also ship to the EU, but be aware that there is import taxes often when you purchase something from the United Kingdom. So do make sure to check that out. But they have awesome prices if you want a new server. Like, there's a good one. That's a DL360 Generation 9. That's not too old. It starts from £195 and you can configure it with all the good stuff that you want in there. And of course the price is gonna go up from there. But if you use that coupon code, you get 5% off, and that's often more than the shipping price. I think this hard drive is good to go. So yeah, we don't have to mess around with that anymore. We can take it out of the box. Shameless self-promotion. Let's get this out of here. Power off. And signal off. And oh, I could feel I moved it too quickly. The G-forces was messing with it. So I have a iFixit kit here, and I believe we have some stuff in here that will help us take this apart. I have found these really good, like crowbar things that you can use, but also there's like professional guitar picks that are also pretty good at getting in here. I forget how to do this from time to time, but I could just force it out. But it's more fun to see if you can get it out without breaking it too much. So I'm gonna try that. Oh, We lost one. Damn it. I will get it back. Another one went in there. That's first time I have had that problem. One came out. Maybe we can. And the other one came out. Okay. I'm out of training with these boxes. It's gonna be very interesting to see what drive they have put in there for us. Sometimes it's white label drives, sometimes it's red label drives. You never know what you're gonna get. Life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, it's coming. It's a white label drive there. Western Digital, 14 terabytes. It's the VD140EDGZ. It's a SATA drive. It's a 6 gigabits per second. Yeah, I hurt my hand doing that. But it's for internal use, hard drive. So we're good to go. Rather amusing, right? It's for internal use, but it's in an external box. So we need to persuade the drive out of this. It's still in the plastic case here, and it has these rubber thingies around the corner here. Usually it goes one or the other way out. Okay, we got it. Big rubbery thing. There we are. We have a light emitting diode on the circuit board here. It's you put it in this rubber thing, but underneath there's a light emitting diode, and that gives you light out this way, which is the thing that you see in front of the box here. Right down there is some transparent plastic that you can see through there. There's a tiny little hole right there that will light up. Now we need to take this circuit board off, which is rather easy. It has 2 screws. So I'm gonna take my magic screwdriver, which is a flathead, and I'm gonna snap my finger, and that makes it a Phillips head. So yeah, that's a cool one. So we're just gonna remove that. I'm sure lots of you have done this. This drive has been sponsored by my patrons, by the way. Thank you very much to all the people that are patrons of mine. They help with stuff like this. Make sure that all my video data is being kept safe. New 14 terabyte hard drive. Good to go. So I've been out into the data center and I got one of these trays from the brand that we are not going to be naming, and I found that on the last tray in the box I had hidden all the screws, which is awesome. These has a tendency to get lost if you don't hide them together with the equipment, so this is what I did. The very last tray in the box, I put in all the screws. That would be the last tray to get drives, and therefore it would be the best place to hide the screws. So we're gonna put this drive in, and luckily it doesn't need any screws on the side. I was looking at other videos, and these drives are different. There are so many platters in here, spinning things, that they haven't been able to put a screw in the middle, which is, well, there's normally a screw there, but with this one there is only screws here and here. But it doesn't matter, because these trays, they only have screws in the bottom, so, and they need a screw there and there and there and there, and they're all there. So screw it. So that everybody is very excited to see me screw in 4 screws, so we're gonna take that in slow motion. No, we're not. So I've opened up the box, the NAS, the web interface for it, And as you can see, it's bringing my attention that volume number 2 is almost out of space. It's not that almost out of space. I still have like 4 terabytes or 3.5 terabytes on it, but yeah, we don't want to get that close to the border of it. So yeah, we're gonna be preparing for the extension of it. So here we have them. You can see that there is 4 10 terabytes in there. It shows up as a 9.1 terabyte. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna take drive 1 out and I'm gonna replace that with that 14 terabytes, and then I'm gonna ask the system to rebuild so that it shares the data again. I'm not gonna get any extra disk space out of that. I'll have to do it again, and at that point it will probably be drive number 2. But I'll get that 10 terabytes left over that I can use for something else. And I do actually already have another 14 terabyte hard drive that Bargain Hardware had put in this server when they sent it to me for review. That's the Hewlett-Packard Cloudline CL3100 Generation 3. It's rather noisy, but it has a really cool setup with room for 12 disks inside. And if it wasn't because this NAS company had striked my channel, I would have showed you a very interesting thing to do with this box, with 12 internal drives and 2.5 inch drives on the back. I have some very good suggestions on just exactly what NAS software you could run on that, but I'm sure that if you have watched my channel for a few years, you will know exactly what I would have put on this, and I would very happily share that idea with you. Good luck with that. So here is the NAS unit, and I have put tape over the brand because I'm still pissed at them. On the 4th of February, it's 1 year since they strike my channel, and I'm not gonna name them before that. Actually yesterday, the e-bike that I did a review on, it came with some nice foam. So I've been putting up new foam over the data center here to have the hot and the cold zone divided. So yeah, just thought that I would share that with you, so you can see that. So that was a nice bonus. But yeah, we just put the screw disc back in. Now we're gonna take the disc number 1 out, and it's gonna be unhappy about that when I do that. So this is very dangerous to do this because 10 terabytes, it has to rebuild that. So if any of these 3 other hard drives are bad, I might very well lose all my data. So this is in a RAID 5, so I'm removing a drive. That means that there is no more security on this NAS until it has rebuilt this drive. And rebuilding 10 terabytes and now extending it to a 14 terabytes, that will take at least probably a day, maybe even a little bit more than a day to do that. So in that day there is no security, and it's going to be working very hard. I have a backup of this. It's actually in the living room. We can go and see that, but just to make it very clear, as soon as I take that drive out, I will have 0 fault tolerance on this. So let's do that. There goes drive number 1. Taking that out. It's also a white label. I got it exactly the same way as this 14 terabyte that we're now going to be putting back in, or not back in, but in. And it's unhappy with me. It has discovered that the 10 terabyte is gone. So we're going to put that in there. I'm going to see if it checks it out. Now it's very important not to take any more drives out. There it sees drive number 1, so that is good to go. And we need to go to the computer and tell it to use that drive, and it's beeping and it's giving an alert. So 0 security right now. And this is the backup of the other NAS, and when I copy data over to the NAS out there, I usually also copy it over to this one, but this one is offline. It's only on and on the net when I'm copying data to it. So it's my offline copy. And at the computer, it's very unhappy with me. It tells me that the state is degraded, so I'm gonna fix that. And I do that by going up, I'm on the storage pool, go up under action, and there will be a repair when it's integrated and it has a new disk that it sees. And that disk is down here, so I can mark that disk and tell it this is the disk that we're going to be using. 14 terabytes, and it only shows up as 12.73. I like it when it looks bigger than that. And we go next, and it pops up with its ugly logo and asks if I'm really sure and all the data on this drive is gonna get lost. And yeah, I'm aware, and yeah, we wanna start the rebuild on this, so I'm gonna continue, which is the only option. Well, cancel is also an option, but I want to continue. All the drive blah 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 will be erased. Yeah, making double sure. And apply. At that point it's going to be stop beeping out there, but still all the data is not replicated. It takes a day. I really highly recommend not using the NAS for anything while it's doing that. The less stress is under, the better. There's no reason to have it replicate all your data and also stress it. That just makes it more likely that one of the other drives will give up the good life. And we can see that it's working on it. It's gonna take a while. It's counting up over there, but it sees the drive here and it's healthy. So yeah, I have had really good luck with those white label drives in there. They're not very quick, but I use my my NAS as storage for like these big files, and they are stored, and most of the time they're not really used for anything. I actually forgot to mention that the NAS that we are looking at here, when I store something, new files in that directory, it is also being replicated off-site to not my PlayHouse, but another site that I have, where there's another of these NASs sitting around with just enough storage for my needs. I actually also need to upgrade that at some point, but yeah. So why didn't I just put in another 10 terabyte hard drive? Well, I've been calculating the power prices and stuff, and I figured out that if I put in another hard drive, it would cost me about 120 Danish kroners every year to also run that drive. I'm already running 4 of them, so each of them are costing me about 120 Danish kroners each year, and that price would go up with another 120 kroners if I was to run 5 drives. Instead, I'm replacing a drive, and that way the price stays the same. And 120 Danish kroners is about $19. It's a fair amount. I'm not making a big advantage here. I'm getting like 4 extra terabytes at some point. Right now I'm not getting anything extra because I need to upgrade 2 drives before I get 4 terabyte extra, because the largest drive that you put in that NAS box, well, that's the extra space that has is needed for the security. So I am kind of getting the space because it's at a security point, but I'm not getting extra space that I can use for anything. It's not wasted space as such, but I'm not getting the space where I can put files on it. So right now, when it's completed doing that stuff, and while I've been calculating stuff, it's at 3.10%, and it is even higher now that I've been waffling a little bit. I was looking at the different drive sizes, and I found that a 10 terabyte hard drive, I would have to pay 162 Danish kroners per terabyte for that one. It's always a good thing to take a hard drive size and divide it by the amount of storage that it has, and find out what does 1 unit cost. What does 1 terabyte cost of this storage? And then you can do the same thing with the other drives. So I've found that the 14 terabyte drive, that would cost me 170 Danish kroners. That is 8 extra Danish kroners per terabyte, which is not bad. If I then jump up to the 16 terabyte drive, then the price is suddenly 200 Danish kroners per terabyte. That means that drive is 38 Danish kroners more expensive per terabyte than the 10 terabyte. So that's why I found that the 14 terabyte was like the sweet spot. I get more terabytes at not too much extra. Kind of how I did that. I will recommend that method. So yeah, the power price is not everything. I took the 14 terabytes, the price of that, and I subtracted the 10 terabyte price, and I got the price difference and how many years of power consumption would it take to make that money back, and that came out to be 6.3 years. So in that regard, it might not be a great deal, but instead of a 10 terabyte, I got a 14 terabyte drive, and somewhere I feel better by spending the money on better equipment than handing it over to the power company. If you look at it that way, it makes good sense. But yeah, if you just look at the numbers, it might have been better just to get a 10 terabyte and extend it with another drive. I might do that later, but now I have the option to postpone that to later. So I think that's quite enough waffling from my side. So thank you very much for watching my video. Do subscribe to my channel so you can see me again, and have a really nice day. And remember to give it a like down there. That would be awesome. Bye bye.